Is the university doing enough to investigate the claims and keep students safe? And what is the potential impact in those allegations on the school's reputation? Joining us this morning to talk about it, Jean Grabowski. Jean is a crisis communications expert with K Global Public Relations. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. And Colleen Ganjian, she's the founder of DC College Counseling. Good morning, Colleen.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here, both of you. Troubling article here, but I think that, is it fair to start with the fact that this isn't necessarily a new issue, but being so detailed in this article, it's just opened a lot of people's eyes. Is that a fair assessment here?
I would say so. I mean, I think this has been going on at UVA for a very long time, and honestly, this isn't just a UVA issue.
Right.
It's happening all over the country. There are 86 colleges and universities that are currently under review for Title IX violations. We're talking big schools, small schools, private, public schools with religious affiliation. So this is a really long-term problem in our country right now.
And Jean, beyond the allegations, now it's a public image issue for the school that is, you know, I think none of us will say that is not a top-notch school. It's one of the premier institutions in the nation, and of course in Virginia. What happens now, though, as far as reputation? Has it taken a big hit?
It certainly has, because so far all we've heard are pronouncements from the president, Mrs. Sullivan, and from others at the school, but no concrete action. And the actions that we have seen when reporters have tried to get more information or when parents have asked questions is, as you said, stonewalling. And it appears as though the school is more concerned about protecting itself than protecting the students, and that can only hurt the reputation.
Colleen, what about parents? You know, there are kids that their whole life probably, I want to be a Cavalier, I want to go to UVA. What do parents do now as far as just making sure that they're equipped with what they need before we talk about what the university needs to do as well?
I think the parents need to focus more on the other aspects besides academics in terms of college preparation. Believe me, academics are very important. That's why I'm in business. But we need to focus on character development. We need to focus on partnering with high schools to make sure that these young women especially are able to get to college and stand up for what they believe in, to know themselves, and to make sure that they know to trust their parents. At that age, their judgment area of the brain is not fully developed, and they need to have those close relationships with parents.
Jean, let me ask you, they've made a sort of a blanket suspension of you know, Greek life there after this article came out. Is that the right thing to do? Is that the right message to send? Is that what you would do as a person who is an expert in crisis?
Well, I think it's one step, but you can't stop there. I think the school has, in some ways, tried to make a scapegoat out of the Greek system, out of the fraternities. There's more to it than that. As Colleen said, it's at schools across the country, but that doesn't mean that UVA can run from the problem, because as the articles pointed out, subsequent pieces have pointed out, we've had 38 allegations of rape and sexual assault at UVA in the past school year. So that's a lot. And of those, only 4 of them even made it to the Sexual Misconduct Board, and of those, none faced any severe disciplinary or criminal charges. We have a problem here, and the university needs to take some concrete steps that are visible to the public, to students, and to parents.
Do you come out and do you say perhaps we've turned a blind eye to that, or is that too much damaging information, if that's the case here?
I don't think they need to talk about what happened so much in the past. I think it's pretty obvious that they've had a problem. I think they have to be focused on what they're doing now and in the future to make sure this doesn't happen again, or if it does happen, to the authorities. I think the biggest problem we're seeing is that these are allegations of sexual assault and some actual sexual assaults that have been proven to take place that haven't been reported to the authorities. Those are criminal actions. The university can't try to handle these things itself. It needs to work with authorities.
All right, and on the other side of this, and you deal with kids who are going into school and the parents, what's your final word on this in the time that we have left together, as far as how you would talk to prospective parents and students going into college?
I would make sure that students and parents are really doing their research about every school to which they're applying, not just UVA. Know that, you know, these students are applying right now, but they have until May 1st to deposit at a school. They have a long time to do their due diligence and ask questions on campus. They should be reading school newspapers, talking to alums from their high school who are at these schools, and really understand the culture of the school.
Financially, if parents don't send their kids to schools that have a reputation of partying or what have you, will that ultimately be the deciding factor here as far as action being taken? in your opinion?
Well, I think the school always has to be aware of its reputation, and that always leads to enrollment and, of course, alumni contributions and so forth. But as we've seen in the past, even at Penn State, schools can recover from these kinds of things, but the school has to take some concrete action, perhaps bring in some outside experts to examine the situation, to investigate, as Penn State did, and show the world, show parents that they're acting responsibly. The schools are acting in loco parentis. They are the parents when the parents aren't there. So the school has to take that kind of responsibility.
And stand up for the victims.
Absolutely,
there as well.
absolutely.
Colleen Jean, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.